Hello, this is the tradesight Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 10th of May, 2015, and ending Friday, the 15th of May. Hope you had a good trading week. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. And we hit our target. We got the 13 sell signal back in the second week of April, and the target of that was the red static trend line. We did hit that this week. We've also completed a new 9-bar down startup phase at the same time. So everything that signal is supposed to give us, we got. So we're free to move either direction from here, and we'll see what happens. We've got a green static trend line target above if we do head up, but we don't have a 13 buy signal yet. That's just a 1 and a 2 so far. Let's take a look at some of the majors in the daily chart, and we'll look at the intra-week action. By the way, here's the euro dollar, obviously the flip of the dollar, but look how exact it hit that green static trend line on the move back up. Here's a look at the pound dollar, a little bit different chart. It had already hit the green static trend line over a week ago. It's still sitting right at that level after a pullback. There's been some decent movement in the pound, a lot of the election driven over there in the UK with Cameron winning again here on Thursday, Friday. Australia, the Aussie dollar, fairly flat, stuck in a narrow range for the last 2 months. New Zealand dollar not doing much either. And here's the pound yen, just to show you a crosspair, got up to that green static trend line this week as well. So that's what those look like. Let's take a look at the intra-week action, 30-minute candles on the euro dollar to start with. High to low, and it's about, we'll call it 340 pips or 330 pips or so, which is a decent range for a week. Some of the days were better than others. Monday, a flat opening, drifted lower. The low of the week was overnight going into Tuesday. And we actually did rally straight from Tuesday into Thursday pretty well. I mean, that's that whole range being covered. And then pulled back Friday, had a little bit of wiggle on the unemployment rate number, non-farm payroll data Friday morning. And here's the pound, and it hit a gap related to the elections when some of the results were announced. But it was very flat actually Monday and Tuesday. Moved a little bit Wednesday, and then the jump Thursday on the announcements, and fairly flat Friday, although the total range for the week is still over 400 pips. It's obviously much better than we were seeing for a long time last year, or late in the year, where the weekly ranges were down to like 160 pips. And remember, average daily range on a pound euro from high to low is supposed to be between 120 and 140. So when you're trading that in a whole week, that's not very exciting. So this is much better for our prospects, and we had a reasonable week in terms of our trade calls here in the Forex pairs. All right, so let's take a look at the data that's coming out this week and see what we can focus on. Just the Australian NAB business confidence number on Sunday. Monday, German WPI. We've got Eurogroup meetings. We've got a official bank rate out of the UK, Bank of England. That's strange to do on a Monday. They usually do Thursdays. Not sure what the logic is there. Labor market conditions index here in the U.S. Retail sales out of the UK that night, home loans out of Australia, 10-year bond auction out of Japan, and then their leading indicators number going into Tuesday. Sometime this week, evidently, China releases new loans and money supply numbers. 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time Tuesday morning, we've got manufacturing production and industrial production. Australia's annual budget release. You've got the NFIB Small Business Index out of the U.S., got the JOLTS job openings data here. We've got a Fed member speaking. The Fed budget balance number in the afternoon. That's not a big deal. One of the basically Fed governors out of New Zealand speaking in the evening on Tuesday, and also the FPI number there. Current account and bank lending out of Japan. Wage price index out of Australia. Economy watchers sentiment number out of Japan. China's industrial production, fixed asset investments, and retail sales going into Wednesday. GDP out of France, Germany, the CPI out of Germany, same thing out of France, non-farm payrolls out of France. That's a lot of key data for those countries right there. Italian preliminary GDP also, UK unemployment rate, flash GDP out of Europe and industrial production from there. That's all at 5 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. U.S. finally has some data, core retail sales, import prices, business inventories, crude oil inventories, 10-year bond auction, all on Wednesday. New Zealand has business manufacturing index, retail sales, Japan's money stock, and 30-year bond auction. Switzerland and France go on bank holiday, as does Germany for Thursday. So that's going to make for some awkward trading probably. Unemployment claims, that's the weekly number here in the U.S. We do have our PPI here in the U.S. Bank of Canada's review. Natty Gas, that's the weekly number here in the U.S. 30-year bond auction in the U.S. PPI out of Japan that night, going into Friday. Consumer confidence out of Japan. PPI out of Switzerland. Construction output out of the UK. manufacturing sales and foreign securities purchases out of Canada Friday morning, and then U.S. wraps it up with the Empire State Manufacturing Index, capacity utilization, and industrial production, and the preliminary first look at the University of Michigan sentiment for May to end the week. So none of our big three economic numbers, no GDP number here in the U.S., although there are some from the other parts of the world. Nothing that we really have to go half size for, although there certainly are enough announcements to get the market moving, hopefully. So we will see how the week goes. I think it's a straightforward week for us from a trading perspective. We don't have a Fed meeting or anything like that to worry about. And we will be in the lab as usual, calling it, help you make money. Have a great trading week. Charts brought to you by eSignal.